guys, welcome to my channel. So my name is Sam and every Tuesday and Thursday I do post more motivational videos. I've actually been on this kick of some like minimalism videos, kind of decluttering, cleaning, things of that nature. So if that does interest you, make sure that you definitely hit the subscribe button. Also, I will list my playlist down below of all my minimalist videos. So if that does interest you after this video, definitely go check those out as well. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Alright guys, so what we're going to talk about today is basically 10 different habits that you could start implementing into your daily life in order to start living a clutter-free life. So with that, the very first point is don't leave the room empty-handed. Now, what does that mean? Well, that simply just means, let's say, okay, I'm in my living room right now, right? So once I'm done filming this video, I'm gonna go ahead and get up and maybe go into another room. So before I leave my living room, let me scan the room, see if there's anything that needs to go back in the place that it belongs. For example, let's say my remote is on the couch. I'm gonna go ahead, pick up that remote, put it where it belongs. Or if let's say I am going, I don't know, maybe on my way to the bathroom, I could, if I was eating, pick up that plate and bring it over to the kitchen and put it in the dishwasher or whatever. So basically just wherever you are, the moment you get up, scan the room, pick something up and bring it to the place that it belongs. So that kind of brings me to my next point of making sure that every single item has a space that it belongs to. For example, kind of give it like a home, because at the end of the day, you come home, you have your own like space, so every single item should also have a space too. So again, for example, me on my little ottoman, that's where my remotes go. On, let's say, you know, you have certain cups or certain plates or certain different things that they have a place. The moment that things don't have a place, that's where clutter starts to happen, because you just start piling things up and then that becomes its new place. So when you bring in a new item, really designate what spot and what place that's going to be, because wherever you put that item, like let's say you buy a new, I don't know, new shirt, new board game, new whatever, and the first place that you put that, that's going to be its new designated home. So when you try to bring more things into your house, you don't want to get this whole cluttered house, so you want to purge items too. So the next point is really making sure that when you bring an item in, you also bring an item out. I like to think of it not even as bring one item in and one item out, maybe one item in and 2 or 3 or 4 items out to start decluttering your house a little bit more. So for example, again, if you buy, let's say, a brand new shirt, go look in your cabinet and see which, or wardrobe or whatever, I don't know what the name, but regardless, go in your drawer, go in your cabinet, go in your whatever, and see what can I get rid of? Maybe get rid of 3 other shirts. So with getting rid of these items, I suggest having in your closet or in some area within your house. And I like to say closet because it's kind of away visually from kind of the appeal of your home. But regardless, whatever works for you. So I suggest taking that like a box, putting it in your closet and designating that as your like giveaway box. So every single time that you need to give something away, you actually put it in that box. And the reason why I say that, you know, put it in that box is because then you could accumulate a bunch and you don't have to spend time like every single time you have an item, then, oh, I gotta go to the Goodwill, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So kind of accumulate that box. I also have another point of actually, instead of a giveaway box, a maybe box. Now, what does a maybe box mean? So I'm gonna walk you kind of through this thought process. So let's say you're cleaning out your closet, I don't know, right? So you're cleaning out your closet and you're trying to get rid of clothes and you have your yes pile, like I wear these all the time, I'm definitely keeping them. Then you have your no pile, where like, no, I could get rid of these, I could part with them, I haven't worn them in a while. And then you have that like maybe pile right in between where you're like, you know what, I never wear these, but I really want to wear them. Or I'm not going to fit into them now, but maybe I'm going to work out a little and then I'm going to fit in them. Or you just have these like reasons of why it's in your maybe pile that it's just so hard to part with them. So put that in another box, maybe in your closet or something. Have these 2 boxes next to each other. And this is for people that are having a hard time parting with things. So if you have that maybe pile, put it in a box or even put it in a bag and set a threshold. And I talk about this threshold in a couple other videos as well, but set a threshold, maybe 2, 3, 4 months, a year. And then when you get to that point, say, if I didn't miss what was in this box, if I didn't go reaching for something in that box, or maybe I forgot what's in that box, get rid of it. And that could help you start purging things as well. Now our sixth point, I know we talked about before kind of taking things out of the room as you go and kind of cleaning as you go, but the next point is never go to bed with a cluttered home. So if you're already implementing cleaning as you go and taking things out of the room as you go, you shouldn't really have much to do at the end of the night. But it really is important to kind of clean at the end of the night, make sure everything is decluttered, so when you wake up in the morning, you have a complete fresh mindset and it's a nice clean space to do your work, to play with your kids, to do really whatever you're doing, but at least it is that clean atmosphere. I know that it really helps me focus a lot. I do work from home a lot, so focusing on my work in like these clean spaces really does help me. So I highly suggest make it part of your daily nightly routine and say, okay, every time before I go to bed, I'm gonna do like a 10-minute quick run around sweep. So just go through every single night and just say, I'm gonna do like this daily quick routine, maybe 10 minutes before you go to bed. Just say, I'm gonna run around through every single room and I'm gonna take things away. I'm gonna put them away, maybe even put them in the giveaway box or put them in the space that they belong, essentially. Tip number 7 is if something takes less than 2 minutes, just go ahead and do it. For example, let's say, I don't know, maybe you've been procrastinating putting the soap in the like dispenser in the sink. And every single time you go to like wash your dish or something, you kind of squish it out and you're like, oh, there's no soap. And you're like, I'll do it later. And then you just kind of squeeze it out and then like wash your dishes or whatever. So how long does that take really to go onto the sink, grab the thing of soap, squeeze it in, and now you have soap in your dispenser? It takes no time at all. But for some reason, sometimes we're just lazy and we just don't want to do it. So start priming your mind to say, okay, anytime that it only takes like 2 minutes, I'm going to just go ahead and do it right there in that one setting. Now, our next tip number 8, is having like this drop zone. Now, I know this might not apply for all of us right now because some of us are just like working from home, staying in our house and stuff like that. But if you are leaving the house, this could work for you. Because let's say, I don't know, maybe you go to the library and you rent down a library book and you're done reading that book, they'll put it in that little box right before you leave the house. And it doesn't have to be a box, it could just be a little place or something, but just place that book there so it reminds you when you leave the house, go pick up that book and go put it back where it belongs at the library, let's say. Or maybe, let's say you, I don't know, maybe you order a shirt, right? And it comes and it's not the right size. Maybe it's too small for you. And you say, oh, I'm gonna return this. I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna go to the mall, I'm gonna return it, or maybe I'm gonna send back the postage and stuff. And then it never happens. And now you're stuck with the shirt that's too small and it's past the return date. So you can't actually return it back now. So now you're stuck with it. And now it just ends up cluttering up your home because you have all this useless stuff that you need to return, but you can't return. And the reason why I know that this happens to a lot of people is I'm the person people turn to when they realize that they have a shirt that they don't fit into and they can't return it. Because I'm a relatively small person, so people are like, oh, maybe it's gonna fit Sam. So then they come over to me and then try and give me the shirt. And I'm super thankful for it because I got a lot of wonderful, nice clothes for it, but I'd rather them return it, get the money for it, and benefit themselves with it. So with that, if you're that type of person, maybe setting up that little like drop zone before you leave the house could be helpful. Now tip number 9 is clear your counters. Specifically your counters in like your kitchen, but really just surfaces overall. Now on our counters, for example, my counter, it's completely empty. There's literally like nothing on it. But a lot of people have maybe their toaster out, maybe their blender out. They have a whole bunch of these like little tiny appliances all over the counter. Now what's the reason that we do that? Literally just convenience. But think about this. I want you to think for a second. How often do you use your toaster? Maybe 2 minutes a day? And we're having it out 24/7 just to have 2 minutes of convenience. And it's not even that hard to go open up the cabinet, take out your toaster, plug it in, put your toast in, do your toast, and then put it back under the counter. It takes no effort. Literally no effort at all, yet somehow we still keep it on our counter. So what I suggest is I have like a little cabinet where I put my blender, my toaster, all of those little appliances, and then just when I need it, I take it out and I put it on my counter, I use it, and then once it cools down or once I clean it or whatever, then I put it back into the cabinet. And I suggest this for you as well. It really helps declutter your space. It also helps you just clean easier, because let's say you're trying to wipe down your counter and you have all these little knickknacks. You got to go around this, around that, or maybe pick up this and wipe underneath and stuff, instead of just wiping down, taking 2 seconds and being done. So it really helps kind of save on time with that as well. So just something to think about. Now, our last and final tip is clean up things. I know we've mentioned this before, but pretty much as you go or as you use them. Because, and this goes for pretty much any item. So something that you might not even think of like cleaning up after you use, but like making your bed. We sleep in it all night, we use it all night, but then when we wake up, sometimes we forget to make it. But go ahead and make it. It kind of sets the tone for the day. It also sets the tone for a decluttered house, because then your bed is a huge prominent feature in your bedroom. So just making that bed, it makes the whole room look clean and look decluttered. So making your bed, or even maybe you eat dinner or you have a glass of I don't know, juice or a cup of milk or something like that, and then we just leave the cup there instead of go bring it, wash it. Even if you don't just wash it right away, putting it in the dishwasher or putting it somewhere like that, just getting it rid of your space and cleaning your area, and just picking up those things right after you use it and cleaning them right after you use it. So with that, these are kind of like my 10 tips of what you can do to implement actually in your daily life. I do try to use all of these tips, but let me know if any of these work for you. Definitely comment down below. Let me know how that goes for you. But again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out a couple of my other minimalism videos as well. So with that being said, thanks and have a good day. Bye guys.